Good evening, this is Left, Right and Centre. I'm Nidhi Razdan. Tonight our big focus from Karnataka to Maharashtra, the utter criminal waste of water at a time when both states are facing a severe drought. From roads being watered for the Karnataka Chief Minister's visit to a drought-hit area to a water pipe that was left gushing for more than 12 hours in Mumbai. Who is accountable? And days after Dhoni has quit as brand ambassador for the Amrapali Group, the government has said today that celebrities may be held responsible for the products they endorse. A parliament panel is even proposing jail time. Is this a move that's justified? But first, the big breaking story at this hour, the government has withdrawn a controversial rule that applied to employees' provident funds, one that basically said that employees could not tap into their employer's contribution to their fund until they attained the age of 58. That decision came this evening after violent protests on the streets of Bangalore that nearly brought the city to a standstill. There were thousands of garment workers who took to the streets to protest against the new EPF rules. Earlier, the rule basically said, as I mentioned, that employees cannot access the employer's contribution until they turn 58. That has now been completely rolled back. Earlier today, we had the government saying it was going to be put on hold for 3 months. This evening, a Labour Ministry press release says it has been withdrawn with immediate effect. Maya Sharma joins us now from Bangalore. My colleague Sudhi Ranjan Sen joining us here from Delhi. Sudhi, to you first, a complete rollback here by the government, first saying it was going to be on hold, and then I think perhaps sensing the mood, completely withdrawing this.
Yes, I mean it's a complete U-turn, because what we had heard earlier is that we are holding this decision till July, and we are going to consult with the relevant stakeholders and then come to a decision. But however, by evening, we are seeing that the government coming out with a long statement saying the reason why we did this is because we wanted people to use the Provident Fund as a security net, which is not the case, because people withdraw it and use it like a savings account, more less a social security. But nonetheless, since there is discontent, we are withdrawing it. And mind you, this is the second time we are seeing the government doing a U-turn on the crucial issue of Provident Funds, the Provident Funds, specifically that of private employees, not of the government employees. Earlier also during the Parliament session, on the issue of taxing when you're withdrawing the entire your contribution, that also was an issue which the government had to go back on. Nidhi.
Maya, we saw this now as a result of these angry protests on the streets of Bangalore today. Some pretty disturbing pictures coming out of there. Are things now more under control?
Things much more under control now, but it was a torrid day. It was really mayhem on the streets of Bengaluru. Arson, stone pelting, with the police also resorting to lathi charges and firing in the air and tear gas. It was really a very disturbed time. So people, of course, very put out also because they were stuck in traffic jams for hours on end, absolutely caught for hours on end. And the Home Minister actually visited this particular police station, which was Hebagodi police station on the busy Hosu road, which was caught in absolutely surrounded by an angry mob and was attacked. Now, 2 people were actually injured in police firing. A young girl and a man were injured in police firing. Several policemen also injured, and people injured in lathi charge as well. The Home Minister was here just a short while ago at the Hebagodi police station, and we talked to him about what went on, what went wrong, and what the government's plans were.
All right, Maya and Sudhi, thanks very much for that update on that big story that's broken in the last few minutes or so. Thanks very much. Now, as several parts of the country suffer as a result of the intense drought, you can take a look at these pictures on your screens. On your left, you're going to see images from Karnataka where a water sprinkler was used on a road to lower the dust or to deal with the dust ahead of the visit of Chief Minister Siddaramaiah to a local drought-hit area. Authorities say it was villagers who decided to clean it up, a claiming that water was actually being judiciously used. The CM says that he's ordered a probe. On the right, you see pictures from Maharashtra where 8 of the 11 major dams may have no water in Marathwada, but in Mumbai, lakhs of liters of drinking water was gushing out of this damaged pipeline for more than 12 hours before it was finally fixed. But the damage and the wastage had already been done. Well, Himanshu Thakkar, who's a well-known water activist and expert, joins us tonight. And Charan Singh Sapra, spokesperson of the Congress, will be joined by Shaina NC of the BJP. Himanshu Thakkar, at this time when we're facing this severe crisis, when you look at both these examples, both from Karnataka and from Maharashtra today, it's really astounding. Where is the accountability? I mean, you see this in that Mumbai pipe, for instance, lakhs of liters of drinking water has just gone to waste.
Absolutely, Nidhi. This shows definitely a failure of accountability, but it also shows a overall failure of governance and water management and complete lack of water allocation policies and mechanisms to ensure that water is judiciously used, and also such leakages are taken care of promptly. In fact, this problem goes much higher up. You know, in an interview to NDTV, the Union Water Minister said that there is no point in planning for drought management. See, the drought doesn't come suddenly like an earthquake or a tsunami. Drought develops over a period of months, weeks and months. So by the end of monsoon, latest if not earlier, it was known that the drought is going to happen in so many villages, so many areas, so many districts. And the central government and the state governments completely failed to take this into account. The first thing they should have done is to take stock of available water, put in mechanism to allocate that water according to set priorities, and which means that they should have very clearly defined priorities. So there are areas in Maharashtra, for example in Solapur, this was done, and that district has very little water problem compared to say Latur, where the government is taking pride. You know, the Uma Bharti took pride in saying that we were the first government, which was actually factually wrong. In 1986, first water train reached Rajkot. But even as your NDTV report said, trains and tankers should be the means of last resort, whereas they seem to be taking pride in doing that as a means of first resort.
You make an important point. You make an important point about the lack of planning, and especially when in many of these areas, this is, I think, the third straight year of drought. So it's not something that should have come as a complete surprise to these state governments. But Mr. Sapra, would you concede that this was a complete blunder on whoever ordered the road in Karnataka to be sprinkled with water ahead of the Chief Minister's visit, that too to a drought affected area?
Yeah, I feel the administration on the whole, they should be little more sensitive, whether they are the bureaucrats or whether they are the politicians, irrespective of any party the politician belongs. They need to be more sensitive. They need to take good decisions where it doesn't look that we are mocking the drought situation. Now what has happened in Karnataka is really bad. The Chief Minister has he has instituted an inquiry and he has said that necessary action will be taken. That's right. But on the other hand, the situation in Maharashtra, whereby the ministers have been insensitive, a helipad was being constructed, especially in Latur, where you already have an airport. There was no need for a helipad to be constructed over there and waste 10,000 liters of water over there. Similarly, Pankaja Munde taking a selfie over there shows that they are little insensitive, which should not be the case. So the politicians as well as the bureaucrats, on the whole, they should be more responsible and more sensitive towards the drought situation.
And leaving Maharashtra aside for a minute, because I'll ask China about that, I'm asking you whether therefore you would say that what happened in Karnataka today was insensitive and was wrong, and those responsible even politically should be liable for this. I mean, isn't it like a mockery of the situation on the ground? The CM is going to visit a drought affected area and you have a water tanker that is happily sprinkling water on the road because there shouldn't be dust when he comes there. I mean, are you in a sense trying to sort of deflect towards the bureaucracy?
Whom you are asking me?
Yes, I'm asking you.
No. I am not trying to deflect towards the bureaucracy on the whole. I said bureaucracy as well as the politicians, irrespective of whichever party they belong to. Now, the CM has not directly ordered to sprinkle the water over there. So how is he responsible? He has instituted an inquiry and the necessary action will be taken. Whereas the similar case is not with Khadse, is not the case with Pankaja Munde, is not the case with Venkaiah Naidu when he said that drought situation is not a situation created by the government. It's a God created situation.
China,
so you cannot leave drought situation on Ram Bharose.
Okay. Shaina,
You all are-
one is
you all are
on the
bhakts of
criticism
Ram, but
Mr.
you cannot
Sapra.
lead
One
the
part of
nation
this
on
is on
Ram
the
bharose.
criticism Mr. Sapra is making. But I want to ask you about, you know what we saw with this big, pipe, this water pipe in Mumbai. For 12 hours, you saw water gushing, drinking water that just went to waste, lakhs of liters. It took 12 hours for that to be dealt with. I mean, who's going to be accountable for that at the end of the day?
Nidhi, let's make this a qualitative debate. I don't want to go into petty trivia. You all know that we have debated even yesterday that this selfie that Pankaja she took to show that the water that has accumulated in the trenches is an absolute tribute to the Jalyuk Shivar, where one knows that the people and government have participated collectively, and today we are equipped to ensure that if there is rain, when there is the first drop of rain, we will be able to conserve and harvest that water. So that takes care of that. There's constant criticism from this Congress party talking about Mr. Khadse, the monumental work that he went to do with all the tehsildars and all the collectors of the district, where 30 lakh liters of water was
No, but was there any need to construct a helipad when you already have an airport over there in Latur? It was just 5 to 6 kilometers.
Mr. Sapra, let her
5 to
finish.
6
Let her
kilometers away
Let her
from the
finish her
point where
point.
helipad was
Have the
constructed.
Okay, Mr. Sapra, let her finish. I'll come
Have
back to
the
you.
decency. Have the decency to
Yeah,
listen,
yeah,
Mr.
yeah,
Sapra.
yeah.
These
I
are
have
facts
lot
that
of
won't be very
decency.
pleasant to your ears.
Yeah,
You have a lot to
You
say
can-
about Karnataka, that an investigation should be investigated. What did Mr. Khadse go there for? He went and he actually released, Nidhi, 30 lakh liters of water from a defunct dam which was not even within the premise of the previous government. Despite that, we did it. So I don't think there isn't a political will to do so. You asked about Mumbai very, very correctly. I think it's unfortunate that we have such a large city, and it is impossible with the best form of systems in place for the BMC sometimes to contain a situation within stipulated time, unless it's
12
brought to
hours?
notice, in which case it was brought.
But
One
China,
moment.
12
Please
hours
let
is a
me
pretty
finish-
long
Let me
time.
finish my point. Nidhi,
12 how can the
Nidhi,
BMC
you
not
cannot
control-
you cannot equate a bursting of a pipe to a drought scenario, which is completely different.